WrestleMania 41 is 2 days away, but with the way WWE has handled the build over the past couple weeks, you wouldn't be able to tell just by watching. Obviously, the big WrestleMania sign you see every time the camera pans to the crowd would be an indicator, but in terms of the actual happenings on Raw and SmackDown, this WrestleMania feels ordinary, especially when you consider what we saw from the build to last year's Mania. I have a few points that I want to get onto in this video, and a couple of them bleed into one another. So I'll start off with my gripes on some of the more egregious booking decisions that have happened since the Royal Rumble. Starting off with the first domino to fall, Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble. In the moment, I lit up for Jey. I was excited. I was very happy for Jey. This is someone that wanted to see Jey take the title off of Roman at SummerSlam. Like, this is someone who was a Jey fan. But then, as the high from the Royal Rumble finish, as it left my body, I had realized that he'd probably be facing Gunther for a fourth time. Opinions of Jey aside, running back a match that the public has seen 3 times in the last year is a questionable decision at best, and it's made even worse by the fact that Gunther beat Jey for the title he's challenging for at Mania 6 days prior to the Rumble on Saturday night's main event. That match, though, I've already made my resolutions with. Although I'm not entirely satisfied with the build for it, Gunther and Jey have made the story captivating enough for me to care. The women's tag team champions Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez are set to defend their titles at WrestleMania against the women's intercontinental champion Lyra Valkyria and her partner Bayley. I'll talk a little bit more about Lyra and Bayley and later on in the video, but the decision for this match to happen is just downright insulting to the viewers' intelligence. After having a seamless transition from Bianca and Naomi to Liv and Raquel, Triple H decides to pair a singles champion and a competitor she's never teamed with to face the tag team champions at Mania. This decision is made even worse and even more baffling when you consider the fact that Lyra and Bayley went the distance against all of the teams in the gauntlet match to determine who would face Liv and Raquel at WrestleMania. They ran through the entire division. They started and they ended the match, and I don't really understand why they would do that to the women's tag division. It's a questionable decision at best, and at worst, it's insulting. On top of that, where are Nia Jax and Candice LeRae? If you ask me, a proper match would have been Nia and Candice versus Liv and Raquel. Not to mention, Nia Jax was queen of the ring and WWE Women's Champion for a good amount of time before Tiffany cashed in on her. And it just seems that after she lost the title, she's been relegated to doing absolutely nothing, which, if you ask me, she's done a good bit of carrying this women's division on her back, and for her to miss out on Mania is simply unforgivable. Triple H had a perfect opportunity to craft a real match with credible tag teams, and instead he haphazardly threw a bunch of names into a bucket, picked 2 out, and decided, here you go, Liv and Raquel. Those are going to be your challengers for the tag titles at Mania. It's sloppy. This last booking decision is damn near unforgivable just because of how refreshing the tag division on SmackDown has been. But the choice to put the New Day and the Viking Raiders on WrestleMania instead of having the Street Profits defend their title there, I don't know. It's not one that I agree with, and it's not one that I'm personally looking forward to. When you look at the amount of work that the SmackDown tag division has put in over the last couple of months, from Legado to the Motor City Machine Guns, who got a push, won the title, lost the title, won the title again, stuff like that, it's just like, what was it all for? I feel like all 5 of those teams could have put on a fantastic ladder match at WrestleMania, but we're just not going to see it. Angelo and Montez, they're going to defend their title on SmackDown the night before WrestleMania, even though they've made it on the WrestleMania card the previous 2 years. I don't know. There's really no explanation for it, and I don't know. Does anybody remember when AJ Styles and Braun Breaker had like a run-in backstage, and then they had the interaction in the ring where AJ caught the shirt, and then we thought we were gearing towards those two for the Intercontinental title match? Yeah, I don't remember that either. AJ pivoted to a match with Logan Paul, and I'll leave that right there. And Braun Breaker pivoted to an Intercontinental Championship 4-way match, which personally, I'm at least okay with this decision because I don't think that there's a wrong winner in the scenario where any of the 4 men in that match win. I don't particularly have a preference, but it's just something that I have to bring up because it happens on multiple occasions. These start-stop feuds, these feuds that you think is gonna happen and then it just stops and then it's never mentioned again for whatever reason, because we're not doing that now. I don't really know why there are so many of them, but there are. Drew McIntyre's saga from last WrestleMania till now has been nothing but build. We're all waiting to see the payoff for Drew McIntyre to hold a world championship and have an actual reign. It looked like we weren't going to get that with Drew losing both the Royal Rumble and the Elimination Chamber, so there was no title for him to challenge for. But what it did look like we were going to get was more character progression for Drew McIntyre in this Bloodline Hunter angle. It was going to start with Jimmy and Jay. It was going to continue on to Roman, which could have been at WrestleMania. And then he even said to Solo, hey, I'm going to deal with you as well, but after I deal with Roman. And we go from that. We go from the Bloodline Hunter angle, which would have been great. Would have been a great match between Drew and Roman at WrestleMania, to pivoting towards Damian Priest. Now, I will say, I've enjoyed the segments between Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. I think they've both done great work in the build for this feud, and I think the match will be good as well. And I like the previous matches that they put on together. Some people may not have liked them, but I actually did. My point is, another start-stop feud where this one I think was even more important than the previous one because it would have involved Roman, and anything involving Roman is box office and whatever, you get that. But I don't know, it's just like we're starting and then we're stopping, and we're starting and then we're picking up with something else and then we're stopping, and it's all over the place. And then this start-stop feud segment brings me back to Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, because Bayley was actually pulled from a feud with Roxanne Perez. Bayley and Perez interacted multiple times, not only on Raw, but on NXT as well. This one especially frustrates me because the Women's Intercontinental Championship isn't being defended at Mania. Instead of putting 2 random competitors together, Bayley and Roxanne's beef could have easily led to Roxanne interfering in Bayley's title match against Lyra Valkyria. Roxanne could have used Bayley as a means into getting into the match itself and having the match at WrestleMania. It also makes sense when you look at Lyra's reign so far. All she's done is title defense. She literally handed Bayley a title defense because Bayley had pinned her before she won the title. It's very, very easy for Roxanne to scheme and connive her way into a WrestleMania match through that avenue. Unfortunately, there's like no creativity in Triple H's creative anymore, and so we're not gonna have that. Instead, Roxanne is on the Stand and Deliver pre-show, and we have the Women's Intercontinental Champion in a tag team match. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair is easily my least anticipated world title match of WrestleMania, and save for a segment where Charlotte and Tiffany both go off script, I probably wouldn't care for this match at all. It's simple as that. Io Sky and Bianca Belair would have made for a fantastic match on its own, and I'm sure the triple threat match will also be as good, but the way this match came to fruition, it was simply poor execution. Speaking strictly in kayfabe, Rhea's character might be schizophrenic. I don't know what Rhea's character is supposed to portray at this point. Being mad that Bianca cost you the title, sure, but hitting a special guest referee twice in the same match is insane. Her going to Io and Bianca's contract signing, laying both of them out, and signing her name on it was maybe one of my least favorite segments of the entirety to this WrestleMania build. It simply didn't make any sense. I was actually a little bit angry after I watched it because I knew we were going to get the triple threat, but like there's so much more creative shit that they could have done than just have Rhea lay out the challenger and the current champion and sign her name onto the contract as if that was supposed to. The build to this match has also made Io Sky the third wheel, which I don't particularly like because she's a champion. I feel like she should be getting a lot more respect than she currently is, and they're playing into that with how Io's reacting and Rhea and Bianca both like mushing her in her face constantly and not regarding her and only focused on the other one. I get it, but I still want Io to be a bigger part in this feud, and it just doesn't seem like she's that important. It seems like it's Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley, and then, oh, we got Io Sky as well. You know what I'm saying? And it shouldn't feel like that. This is a WrestleMania match, and she's the champion going into it. It shouldn't feel like she's the third wheel. It shouldn't feel like she's just the throw-in, especially when Rhea's the throw-in. But whatever. I'll save my opinions for Rhea Ripley for another video, and hopefully the match delivers like I think it will. Last but not least, we have CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. I'm gonna just be honest. Swing and a miss. It's a swing and a miss. If you took the me right after all of the Roman Punk Seth shenanigans that happened at the Royal Rumble and asked him how he felt about a potential triple threat match between all three of them, you ask him that question, right? And then you compare me to him and you say, hey Maurice, how do you feel about this match? You know it's going to happen, and you've experienced basically the entire build. There's one more SmackDown segment that you have to watch, but hey, this is basically the entire build. What are your thoughts? How hype are you for this match? I'm not hype at all for the match. It's like, cool, I love Seth Rollins, love CM Punk, that's my goal. But I don't care about the match, and it shouldn't be like that. I don't understand how you have a program with Seth Rollins and CM Punk in it, and I just don't care. Maybe it's the addition of Roman. Maybe it really doesn't make any sense why all three of them are in this match at WrestleMania. To be fair, it was a very, very loose thread that tied them all together for this match anyway. But I don't know. It feels as if like WWE is just banking on the star power to carry the promos and to carry the match build. But like, star power can only get you so far. I have to care about what's going on. Seth Rollins keeps talking about the future of the industry. Brother, there are no stakes to this match. There's no title to be held at the end. It's a WrestleMania main event, but it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like a WrestleMania main event at all. And to be honest, when I was writing the script, I forgot that it was a WrestleMania main event until I actually wrote it down, sat down and wrote it down. I'm like, this is a WrestleMania main event. And it doesn't feel that way. It feels like there's about 65% of the energy needed is missing. And for me to feel that way with us being this close to WrestleMania, that means something's wrong. That means there's a problem somewhere. I can't pinpoint it, but there's definitely a problem here. And then this last part, I actually did not have in the original script because it's just it's been a weird 72 hours for WWE. First off, Triple H, you know what? I'll just play the clip.
I wish I could tell people, off being a critic. Be a fan. Go watch this and be a fan.
So apparently he just wants us to be fans. He doesn't want anyone to engage critically with the performance that's happening, yada, yada, yada. I'll tell you now, no. You see that in the back? That's money that I gave to WWE. I got tickets to go to Raw on my birthday on April 28th in Kansas City. That's money that I'm giving to WWE. So I'm going to criticize and I'm going to bitch and complain as much as I want to. I pay money. I pay my hard-earned money to see the program. I want to watch something that is entertaining to me. Not only that, but you and who was it, Lee Fitting, you find it upon yourselves to announce who put the program together at the end of every show, at the end of Raw, at the end of SmackDown. It wasn't there before, but it's there now. Paul Triple H Levesque, and Lee Fitting. Those are the guys that did this episode that you just watched. You want all the credit for when it goes good, but when the product isn't good and there are people giving you feedback, shut up and be a fan. Okay, I guess. I don't know what it is with people nowadays, but I like to engage critically with art, with entertainment, stuff like that. I like to stimulate my brain. I don't want to turn it off. So you basically saying, hey, turn your brain off. We got this. It's fine. What you're saying with your criticisms, you don't know what you're talking about. Just turn your brain off. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that because that doesn't engage me as a viewer. That doesn't engage me as a paying customer. I paid for a Peacock subscription to watch WWE programming. I'm a paying customer. So no, I'm not gonna just shut up and be a fan. I'm going to be a critic. Is that something that I do as a journalist? But like, I have the right to criticize whatever the hell I want, and you, Triple H, are not exempt from that. So that was a little mini tangent. Yeah, I don't know. Triple H really pissed me off when he said that. Something else that also has pissed me off as of recent, this weird right-wing grift that the WWE is like now fully leaning into. It was first them having Tony Hinchcliffe on Raw. That segment fucking sucked, by the way. Triple H was hugging up on Andrew Schultz. It's a whole bunch of Roman Reigns just announced that he voted for Trump. A lot of weird right-wing shit going on in WWE, and I'm not gonna lie, it's annoying. It's annoying as fuck. I don't want to have to think about the fact that most of the wrestlers are conservative fucks, and unfortunately, WWE is doing a great job of pushing their love for the current conservative fuck movement that is going on. So yeah, I don't really understand why that's a thing. I wish it would stop being a thing. It's probably not going to stop being a thing, especially with this recent TKO merger. So I guess I'm going to put up with it, or I'm not. Maybe I'll just stop watching WWE altogether. I don't know. But that's it for this video. My camera's about to die, and I got to get this edited and up Friday morning. So hopefully y'all enjoyed this video of me criticizing Triple H and WWE's booking. I'll have more videos. My Wrestlemania reaction will be out Tuesday. I got a surprise for you guys with that. I said it'll be out Tuesday. It might be out Wednesday. Tuesday or Wednesday. One of those days. But thank you for watching. If you guys enjoy content like this, enjoy sports content, please make sure you subscribe, leave a like, turn on the post notification bell so that you get notified every time that I post a video. Peace.